me to make
Hmm.
all the to look good. So I also went and go ahead and changed that as well too. But
Mm-hmm.
then after I changed all of those things but the lineup that you had with your icons on the right, on the left hand side, it doesn't say
Oh,
like Playwright all those the same thing. I don't know if that's supposed to do the same or it's not supposed to do the
okay,
same.
okay. So Wakas, what I'll do is I'll share my screen now, and please let me know, are you talking about this as well? Okay. So I have just shared my screen. Please let me know. Are you able to see?
Yes, I'm able to see your screen.
Okay. Are you talking about these icons, the ones that you see here? Is that what you're
Y-
talking about?
Yes, so you see like how you have the drop down just on the Explorer, it says Playwright, and then you have GitHub, then you have JS, then you have the basics, then you have node modules and Playwright reports, test results, and
Mm-hmm.
all the folders that you've created. I
Okay.
don't
So
have
this.
all of those, and one
Okay.
thing I don't have that, and plus the
Hmm.
icons that you're talking about
Hmm.
next to it, like the chemical glass that you have an example.
My God, Wakas, you're speaking
I don't
very
have that.
fast. You have to slow down a little. Huh? You're
I'm
speaking.
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
So
people
the
usually
icons
say
that you have.
I'm fast, but you are way faster than me. Please
Oh,
slow down.
I apologize.
That's okay. Okay, so to answer your questions, so this is important. So this is a very, very valid question. So firstly, to answer your question, so if you want to have such beautiful icons, I think you probably missed this particular part, but I think in the first or second class, I was telling people that if you want to have beautiful icons, like the ones that you see on my screen, you want to have this material icon theme. Yeah.
I have that too.
Okay. After, if you have this material icon theme, you want to install, okay, you want to set this material icon theme. Okay, so you want to just come over here and here themes and set this color theme. That's it. It should work for you.
Oh, you have to set the theme. That's the thing I did that, but I didn't set the theme at the same time. You have to set it as
Yes.
well too.
So when you install material icon theme, it will show you a small pop-up wherein it asks you, should I set up your themes also? You have to set it up. Then you start seeing such beautiful icons. Now, that was your first question. Second question, this JS folder, I created this myself. So you have to create this manually. So other than this folder, node modules, and then this test folder and all these things will come automatically whenever you install Playwright for the very first time. So how do I install Playwright? I was telling in the previous class, run this command. By default, you will see an empty folder. Nothing should be there. So when you run this command, npm init playwright @latest. And if you simply hit enter, it will ask you a couple of questions. All you have to do is just keep on hitting enter, 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 enter. That's it. Nothing else. You don't want to change any of the default settings. Just keep on hitting enter, and you will see this GitHub folder, which is a kind of hidden folder. It might show up, it might not show up. That is completely irrelevant for now. Ignore this GitHub folder. This node modules folder should be there. Basically, your Playwright is installed here actually. This tells you
Okay.
whether Playwright is there or not.
Okay, that's
Okay.
where I was missing. Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
That's what I had.
No worries. And yeah, guys, you can ask me questions. You can ask me questions during the session. You can ask me questions before and after the session also. Okay, but yes, if I'm occupied, I may be replying you slightly delayed because I'm having so many other batches also. But for sure, I'll reply you. Okay. And yeah, so let us set some ground rules before we start. So what I would suggest is like if you have, yeah, so Vihari is saying some metallic theme icon extension Piyush mentioned. Okay, thank you so much, Vihari. Okay, so guys, let us do one thing. So if you have any questions, I would suggest please raise your hands. Imagine if all there are 43 people in this Zoom. Imagine all 43 people start talking without raising hands. It'll be a big chaos. Let us not do this. So the best option, according to me, what I've seen in my previous batches also, always raise your hands, but I'll usually give everybody an option to ask me questions once I'm done with the topic. Okay, so this is how we can do so that nobody should feel disturbed and we will be able to maintain the decorum also. And even after the class is over, I will give you some opportunity to ask me questions. And even if your question is still not addressed, don't worry, you can still reach out to me. And my WhatsApp number I've already shared with you. So for people who don't have my WhatsApp number, let me just ping it on the group 7738532684. This is my WhatsApp number. If you have any queries, you can reach out to me. Okay, so this is my WhatsApp number. Okay, so okay. Hmm. Anything else? So looks like we are pretty good for now. Okay. So some of you, I know you are seeing me for the first time. You are trying to see like how this class is. But I would suggest if people who are joining in for the very first time, I would suggest go to the recordings from the last week actually. We have just started with the demo, so nothing else has been lost. So you can just catch up with whatever we have covered so far. Yeah. So it is going to be very, very simple. Okay. Now, So last time in the last two videos, what we have done is let us do a very small recap. So basically what we have done last classes. So I've given a course outline. So some of you who still want to have the course outline, they can reach out to me and I'll be sharing the course curriculum and all those things. So it'll be a roughly around 45, 50-hour course. Some could be maybe less, more, whatever. Okay. So it will take approximately 2 months, definitely not less than 2 months, will be slightly more than 2 months only. Okay. So yes, so this is the and yeah, all the lectures would be recorded and the recordings would be shared the very next day. But Isha team is might be on holiday considering it is a weekend. So I'll have to see. In that case, if those people are on weekend, what I'll do is I'll share this raw recording with you, probably in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So, and I'll be sharing all the notes and the assignments in that Google Drive link. Some of you who don't have the Google Drive link, don't worry, reach out to me and I'll be sharing that link with you. Okay. So that would be your one-stop place where everything would be there, means your project documents, everything. Okay, I'll be sharing a sample application with you. Everything related to this particular group will be added as a part of that what's Google Drive link. Okay, and some of you doesn't have it, you can ask me and I'll be sharing it with you. But I think the newly created WhatsApp group, somebody has asked, maybe Deepak, I don't know. Somebody was asking and somebody has even shared this. Okay, so last class, we have seen how to install Playwright from scratch and how to create our very first Playwright script. And this is our very first Playwright script that we have seen how to create it from scratch. Don't worry about this code, what is page, what is go to, don't worry. Because most of the people who are joining in, they are manual testers, they have no coding background. So I'm assuming you all are manual testers having zero coding background, and it is my responsibility to basically to move this course in such a way that we all should be able to understand coding, even if we have never done it. Okay. And we'll try to do it in a way that it should be fun and it should be engaging. Even we all should have a fantastic journey, like all my previous students. And I'm getting a ton of business from my previous students from the good referrals. Okay. So that is what we'll do. Right. So we have seen how to install Playwright, and we have last time I've told you how to install all the extensions. So in case if you are still wondering what all extensions we'll need, these are the extensions. Forget about some Cypress extensions. These are from my previous other batches. So most important extensions are, we need CodeRunner by Junhan. Okay. Then the next extension that we'll need is Live Server by Ritvik Day. Okay. And then Material Icon Theme, what I was explaining to Wakas, by Philip Kaif. Okay. And then Open in Default Browser by Peakchen. Okay, and then we'll require one last extension, which is Playwright Test for VS Code. This is an official extension by Microsoft. In fact, Playwright is developed by Microsoft. So is VS Code. And both of them are completely free. Okay, so these are the extensions that we have to download. Second thing, what I was telling you, that you should, I'll show you. You should also enable this particular option, file, and then autosave. Make sure you have this autosave functionality. Why? Okay, without this functionality, if you try to write your JavaScript code and if you forget to save it, your code would not be run properly. Okay, so just make sure that this file autosave option is already there. Okay, and last time we started with the basics of JavaScript. Okay, so we started with the primitive types. We started with, these are the overall types that we have in JavaScript. So we started with numbers. So I was telling you last time. So we have numbers, we have positive numbers, negative numbers, fractional numbers. Okay, like in Java, we have different data types or numbers. In JavaScript, we have only one type. Basically, data type is about classifying the data. So all of this can be categorized into one type, which is your number. Okay, and then we even saw something. So we all understand what is plus, minus, multiply, and divide. That is very simple, basic math. We all know. But this percentage is something that is slightly different. This is called as remainder or modulus operator. I'm just doing a small recap, guys. Yeah. So if I do 4 by 2, it means I'm trying to divide 4 by 2. This is a normal division and it should give me 2. Okay. But if I use this modulus, it means I'm doing what? I'm trying to calculate what is the remainder if I'm trying to divide 4 by 2 something. So how do I write it? This is how I write. 4 modulus of 2 means give me the remainder when I divide 4 by 2. What is the remainder? The remainder is 0. Why? 4 is an even number. For any even number, if I try to divide by 2, it gives me 0. Yeah. okay, because it is a clean division. And then we also saw about exponentiation operator. Okay, so if I want to basically do some powers, okay, this is how I do. How to read this in simple terms? 2 raised to the power 3. Even a manual tester can understand, guys. This is very simple. And you want to tell yourself every single day, JavaScript is easy. You want to do mental conditioning also. Yes, we will be learning JavaScript together, but at the same time, mental conditioning is also required. No trainer will teach you this. But your mental programming is extremely important. Some of us are doing negative programming, like I'm not good enough. I don't know if I can clear interviews. You are actually doing a lot harm by thinking these things. Okay. But you want to do reverse programming. That is how you'll get better. Okay. So 2 star star 3 means 2 raised to the power 3, which is 8. This is one way of doing 2 to the power 3. This is a second way of doing. And in case if you're wondering which is better, there is no right or wrong here. Yeah. It means we are simply doing what? This is just a second way of doing it. But for me, this is more compact, more precise, very easy to understand. Nothing wrong with this, but this is slightly, I won't say, but this is more easy to type, as simple as that. And very importantly, you should understand JavaScript is case sensitive. So if you write math not allowed, you want to write M with a capital M. Okay, so JavaScript is case sensitive. This is something you should understand. And previously we saw not a number, we saw infinity. Surprisingly, in JavaScript, we have a negative infinity and negative zero also, which is weird. So there are a couple of things which are weird in JavaScript, and there are some issues also with JavaScript that we'll see in TypeScript part. So why we really use TypeScript? Because there are a couple of issues in JavaScript, and that is something we'll see. Okay, so and last time we saw the assignment part. So we saw something like this. So basically how to create a variable. Now, what is the reason behind creating a variable? If I want to use a value couple of times, better option is store it in a variable so that it is easier to understand. If I write this value 5, let's say, and if I use it couple of times, maybe here and maybe here, can anyone understand what is the meaning of this 5? Yes, it is a number. But what is the real reason why I created this value? Nobody can understand. But instead, if I do something like this, let number equal to 5. I think at least we can still understand that this 5 is basically a number that I'm trying to do something with it. Okay. So what is this? Let counter equal to 0. This is called as assignment. Okay. Assignment means I am reserving some space in the memory. Which memory? My random access memory in your operating system. So what is happening here? I'm taking the value, what is on the right hand side, I'm storing it in the variable that is on the left hand side. So very important concept. This assignment, it happens from right hand side to left hand side. So whatever is, okay, let me show you with an example. So I'll share my whiteboard as well. Allow me one sec. Huh. Okay, I think you should be able to see my whiteboard as well. Uh, are you able to see? Please confirm.
We can.
Okay, perfect. Hmm. So, okay, so this is my simple whiteboard. Now, here I'll draw my memory here. Okay, so if this is my simple memory, which is, okay, so this is my simple memory. Now, whenever I'm creating a variable, what is happening in the memory? Not only from interview point of view, you should be able to basically clear all your foundation, guys. Clearing your concepts is very important. And that is what you want to focus on. So the first thing, let counter equal to 0. What is happening in the memory when I'm writing this? It means I'm basically creating a box in the memory in very simple terms or a container. What is the value that I'm storing in this container? The one that is I'm having on the right hand side. This is the value that I'm storing. Okay, so this is the value that I'm storing. Let's say this is 0. Now, how do I access this value? So I need a variable name, right? How do people call you in your office? If they don't know your name, they will not be able to reach out to you, right? Same thing. How do people reach out to you? By your name. Same thing. How do I reach out to this variable? By having this variable name. So I'll have to give a variable name. Let me call it counter. So this counter, yes, I call it variable name, but technically what is happening is this counter, which is a name, refers to the memory location where this value is stored. That is the real meaning of creating a variable. Yeah, I've talked to so many senior people also. They just understand this variable creation, but on a superficial level. But deep down, I see very few people having this kind of deep knowledge that what is really happening. This variable really refers to the memory location where this value 0 is stored. I hope this is clear. Okay, and I'm creating this variable using the let keyword. So I can create variables using three keywords. One is let, then is const, then is var. So var is the older way of creating. That is something we just saw previously. And that is where we ended our previous class. And this is now we are starting with our today's class now. Okay, so we have three ways: let, const, and var. Never use the var keyword. It has a lot of issues and it is an older part of JavaScript. You can call it as legacy JavaScript. So let and const is the modern way. Okay. When I say modern way, it means what? ES6 or ES 2015. Now, what is this? In the year 2015, there was a very major change that happened in JavaScript. Okay, in this major change, what happened? So many new functionalities were introduced. A lot of things were introduced actually. Okay, including let and const, array destructuring, object destructuring. Don't worry, we'll talk about all these difficult sounding words in very easy terms. Okay, later on. Okay, so let and const was just one of the things that was introduced in this. So this version is called as ES6 or ES 2015. Yeah. So whenever we talk about modern JavaScript, we are talking about ES6 or ES 2015. That's it. Okay. Now, what is happening in this case? Can I change the value of this variable? The answer is absolutely. If I'm using this let keyword, then the variable change is allowed. Let me write for you guys. So variable change is allowed. Means inside this container, this value, which is 0, can I change this? The answer is yes, I can change it. So it means I can strike it off and I can add a new value in this container, which is 1. So this counter is the variable name. That still remains the same. It's just that the value is changed. Okay, so using this counter variable name, I can fetch the updated value, which is my 1 here. I hope you're able to follow. Okay. So if I try using const, that is something we'll see very soon, that variable change is not allowed. So how this variable assignment happens? Assignment happens from right to left. So I'm creating a variable called counter in the memory, means I'm creating a box in the memory. I'm adding this value and this is the variable name, which means this is a placeholder that is referring to the memory location where the variable value, which is 0, is stored. And later on, I can update the value using this. So when I'm trying to update, we don't use let again. This is important, guys. If I'm trying to update the value, we should never use let. So we use let or const or var only one time when I'm declaring or creating a variable in the memory, which is this one. Okay. Second time onwards, don't use let or const or var. Why? Variable is already created. All you want to do is, if you want to refer to it, just use the variable name. That's it. And if you try using let or const, JavaScript will complain. It is yelling at you now. See these red squiggly lines. What does these red squiggly lines means? It means something is wrong. And you see, the file name is also in red. And if you go to this Explorer section, you see, again, we have some issue over here. So this red color means some issues there. You can even see this issue from here also. Yeah, some errors are there. What is the issue? How do we know? Even if I'm completely beginner, just bring the mouse. And it is so easy. It is clearly telling you, cannot redeclare blocked scope variable counter. In simple terms, what does it mean? VS Code is complaining that, hey, you already created one variable called counter. Why you're trying to redeclare it? It is not allowed, not possible. Please don't do this. This is not allowed. But the moment I remove this let keyword, variable change is allowed. So I'm simply changing the variable value. So this memory location remains the same. It's just that the variable value is changed. Yeah, that is what is happening here. Okay. Yes, Shrikant, you have a question? Let me
Yeah.
know.
So the counter, right? Is it can be that I mean like the variable can value can be string that can be done like count.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, I'm using this word unfortunately. Why? Because in JavaScript, that is a big issue. You can actually change the type of the value also. So to answer your question, Shrikant, I can do this. I was about to come to this, but I'm glad you asked me. So suppose if I, okay, Shrikant, see, I can do this. JavaScript is not throwing an error. See, there's no error here. And now if I try to print this counter, and yeah, so what am I doing here? I'm ignoring everything else that is there in this file. So this If you remember, I've told you this extension code runner by Junhan. It is pretty powerful extension. Using this extension, I can run not only the entire file, I can run only the parts of a file. Means what is happening now? I'm telling JavaScript that, hey, run only these 4 or 5 lines and ignore everything else. Yeah, so now if I click on this play button, I'll get this play button because of this code run extension. Otherwise, you will not see this run code button. Yeah, so you need this extension. So just click on the play button and see. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Shrikant. That is allowed, but
Because
that isn't, yeah,
yeah, we are
but
not defining the data type, right? Okay.
yeah, it is not Java. So I cannot say it has to be, if it was Java, I could have done like this, int of counter. But this is not Java. I cannot write int here. Yeah, so in Java, this is not allowed. But this is JavaScript. JavaScript is very loose. It is very, very less strict than Java. Okay,
Oh,
that is where we
yeah,
will use TypeScript.
yeah. So with this, right, based on your experience, whether it is an good candidate or like, is it a concern, or you faced any kind of an issues, or
Yeah,
I mean,
that
like,
is an issue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is an issue with JavaScript that unfortunately I can change the type. See, this
got it.
this is fine. Previously, value was 0. I'm changing it to another value, another number basically. This is allowed, which is fine. But the concerning problem is in JavaScript is I can even change it to another type, maybe a string or even a boolean or even something different. That should not be allowed, but JavaScript lets me do it. That is why we will see after we are done with JavaScript, we'll move on to something which is TypeScript. In TypeScript, like I was showing you in the demo class, I just showed you a very quick example. Okay, let me just show you quickly. So here, this is how we learn parallelly JavaScript and TypeScript. I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say TypeScript.ts, because any TypeScript file should end with .ts extension. And I also have installed TypeScript. It may or may not work for you because you need to install TypeScript. Then only it will work for you. Otherwise, for now, you can go to any online compiler, okay, and you can run your TypeScript code. Now, in TypeScript, look at this. If I do let counter equal to 0, let me create another variable, say counter 1, let's say. So can I change it to any different number? Say counter, not 1, counter 1 equal to 100. See, Shrikant, this is allowed. But what if I try
Mhm.
to do this? Counter 1 equal to Piyush. Now look at this. Not allowed. This is something I want. Yeah. See, it is giving me the error which I'm expecting. Type string is not assignable to type number. That is why we want to use TypeScript because of this issue with JavaScript. In JavaScript, it is allowed, which is something ideally it should not be. That is why we want to use TypeScript. Hopefully, even for beginners, they should be able to understand, at least on a high level, what is the problem with JavaScript and how TypeScript is solving that issue. In JavaScript, I'll run my code, I'll get some errors, and then I'll fix it. In TypeScript, it is showing me the errors faster. I can resolve my errors quicker. It is going to save me a lot of time. That is why most companies have now started working on TypeScript and not just JavaScript. Yeah, I think it should be clear. Yes,
I'm
Shrikant?
sorry, Piyush. This TypeScript, how you change it from JavaScript to TypeScript uh,
I didn't
editor?
change it. Okay, I didn't change it. I just created a new file simply by saying typescript.ts. Just click on this plus button and create a file typescript.ts. That's it. Yeah, just like how we can create a new text file or a new doc file. Similarly, I can create a JavaScript file. I can create a TypeScript file. That's it. Just click on this plus button and it is asking you for a file name. Give it any name.
Okay,
If you give JS, JavaScript. If you give TS, TypeScript. That's it.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So yes. So somebody is asking, Sonder is asking, should for TypeScript the file should end with .spec.ts? Yes, if it is a Playwright file. Normal TypeScript files should end with .ts. For Playwright specific files, it should end with, like in this case, it should be
Yeah, okay, Piyush.
example.spec.ts.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, all right. So that is what is happening now. So I'll come back to JavaScript now and we'll keep on learning TypeScript like this so that by the time we actually reach TypeScript, we will have at least on a high level some good idea. Yeah. Okay. So this is how variable memory allocation really happens, guys. Okay. So this is what we can do. Let us move on. Now is the right time to see something called as constants. Create constants. Okay, so I know even if you're joining in for the very first time, I can bet on it, you guys are still finding it useful because we are keeping it so simple that you will have to understand it. Okay. Okay, all our sessions are very, very simple. You will follow it. Okay, so how do we create a constant in JavaScript? Super simple, guys. Okay, I keep on saying super simple so that I'm actually trying to play with your, brains actually. Yeah. Okay, so how do we create a constant? Very simple. Simply do this. Const hence equal to 4. What is happening now? Okay, whenever I use this let or const or var, what am I doing? I am reserving another space in the memory. You should understand from memory point of view, guys. Unfortunately, nobody talks about it. No YouTube video, nothing, but you should understand from memory point of view. From memory point of view, what is happening? If you're using const of hence equal to 4, look at this, what is happening. Again, you're reserving another space in the memory. Okay, so what is the value that I'm storing in the space? 4. So I'm storing this value 4 here. What is the name that I'm giving to this space? See, without this name, can I access it? No, it is an unnamed space for now. Okay, so I want to call this space. I want to use this variable. How? Simply by giving it a variable name. So let me call it hence, whatever. It can be any useful name. Okay, so this is what is happening. This is a constant. Const means this is a constant, means variable changes not allowed. So now you are a QA. Try to break it. Let us try. If I change it to a different value, see, JavaScript is not throwing an error here. Okay, but let me run this code and see what happens. So if I simply select only these two lines, means everything else above will be ignored. That is the beauty of this run code extension. Now, let us run. See, as expected, I am getting this error. Assignment to constant variable. So JavaScript is complaining. It is yelling at me saying, hey, silly dude, what are you doing? This is not allowed. You only created a constant. Constant is not supposed to be changed. Why you're trying to change the constant? So JavaScript is yelling at me. So what do I do? Let me save this error here itself. Because if I'm beginner, if I'm practicing it, I will not be running each and every line again and again. So I would rather store this so that when I'm revising maybe 2 days later, I can remember, okay, this is the error that is coming in. Yeah, I'm just giving you some hacks how to basically do small revision. And yes, guys, you want to revise things again and again, especially if you're a beginner. If you think watching a video once is enough, the answer is no. You want to practice again and again. Remember when you started learning how to drive a vehicle, you have to constantly practice again and again. Okay, that is how you actually get something from your conscious to subconscious mind. That is how true learning happens. Yeah, this is the error. So variable change is not allowed in constant. I hope you are able to follow. Moving on. Now, what all things I can create in a constant? Some of you, if you are asking for some real scenarios, let me give you a real example now. Your birth year, my birth year. Suppose if I store my birth year, say, okay, let me add a fictional birth year, not my real birth year. So let's say, suppose if I'm born in 1990. Yeah, I want to create it as a constant. Think about it now. Is my birth year supposed to change? Nope. My birth year is never supposed to change. But what about my salary? Your salary, it is supposed to change. And if it is not changing, big problem, right? Our salary should never be constant. It should always be let. Yeah. Okay. I'm pretty sure some of you are smiling actually. Yeah. That is how we should learn. Yeah. Learning and having fun at the same time. Okay. So const birth year equal to 1990. So what I'm saying, what convention is this? Anyone can tell me quickly. You can unmute anyone. Just tell me what convention is this? We covered this last Saturday or Sunday.
Camel kissing.
Not not just camel casing, guys. Anyone else? Anyone else? This is something is missing. Yes, camel casing. Which camel casing?
Lower camel kissing.
Correct. Brilliant, Sachin. This is lower camel casing. Lower camel casing means if I'm joining the two words together, so the first character of the first word is in lowercase and all the subsequent first character should be in lowercase. Otherwise, if you keep it lower, imagine if you do it like this, it is hard to read, right? Very hard to read. But if you're capitalizing the first character of the second word onwards, I think it is easy to understand, easy to read. So this is a global convention that we all follow. Is it mandatory? No, this is not mandatory. It is a good practice that we all follow across the globe. Yeah. So I'll be teaching you some bad practices so that you should know what not to do. Yeah. And then we'll be learning some good practices together. Yes. Okay. This is my lower camel casing convention. So again, what is happening? Imagine there's a small box inside this box, I'm putting this value. How do I name this box? This is the name of the box. That is happening from memory point of view. And now if somebody asks you any question in interview about variables, you can easily crack it. Why? Now your foundation is clear, guys. So our focus should not be to clear interviews. Our focus is to clear the concepts, clear the foundation, and clearing interview should be automatic. Yes, that's the right thought process. Don't just learn to clear interviews. Clear to get better. काबिल होने के लिए पढ़ना है. So that we will automatically get success. Okay. So moving on. Some real examples of using constants. Okay. So some of you, if you revise, if you go back to your previous school days, we all have learned something called as pi, not the life of pi. Okay. The value pi. So if you do this, const of pi, 3.1415 something. You remember this pi we were using whenever we are trying to calculate the area of a circle or the circumference of a circle. Now some of you are remembering. Okay, I was not very good at maths. I never scored 100 actually. The max I got was 89. Some of you are brilliant than me. Yeah. Now, what is happening here? I'm creating a constant because, see guys, think about it. Is this value supposed to change? No, right? Can I use let? The answer is yes. I can still use let. But is it a good idea to use let? The answer is no. Why? Okay, because I don't want to change this value basically. Okay, and accidentally, if I use let, maybe somebody else, not just me, maybe there are so many people in my team, right? Maybe some of them might change this value accidentally, which is something I don't want. Okay, that is what I want to do. Yeah, let of pi equal to this. So it is a good idea not to use let for this. Always use const. So by mistake, even if you're trying to change, now JavaScript will flag this error. Which error? Assignment to constant variable. That is what you want to do. Okay. Another example. How many days in a week we have? 7 days. We all know. Very silly question, no? Days in week. Again, I'm using lower camel casing convention because this is easy to understand. What if I create a variable name like this? Don't use a variable. Never create a variable like this, X or Y or something. It's a very poor practice. Why? Today you might remember why you created this variable. 6 months down the line, you yourself will not even remember. So a good practice is always give a meaningful name. Like this pi, meaningful name. Hence, yeah, this is a silly example anyway. So this full name, yes, it is a meaningful name. So here, give a meaningful name like days in week. Anyone can understand how many days in a week we have. We have 7 days. Can it be 8? No. Can it be 6? No. Should it be let? Should it be const? I think now you know the concept. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure even beginners are able to find this useful. Okay. Yeah. Any questions so far? I hope you are able to follow things, guys. Okay. I'm glad. No questions. Okay. Let us move on. Yeah. In case if you want to clear the console, how do you clear the console? Just click on this button, this one, and your console is completely clear. And I like to have a full screen window. In that case, once my job is done, I can press Control and backtick to basically hide the terminal, or I can simply click on this cross button so that I see a bigger window now. And if I want to see even bigger window, I can click on this. Now you see I'm having such a bigger rectangle now, a bigger view where I can type my code. It is up to you. Okay. So this is how we create constants. Okay. And now, can I change the value of a constant? Nope. We cannot. And this is something I've already shown you. Now, time for some quiz, guys. This is something which is very exciting part of this training, actually. So now what I'll do is I'll be asking you some rapid fire questions. Let's see who raises the hands first. So just raise your hands. Please don't unmute. Please don't unmute and spoil the fun. Okay. Just raise your hands. I'll be asking you some questions. Just raise your hands. Okay. So let's see who gets it right. Now, if I do this, let wind underscore speed equal to 76. Okay. Just observe carefully. Once you are able to understand the solution, just raise your hand. So just place your mouse closer to the unmute button and raise your hands. Okay. Yeah. Let wind underscore speed 76. Then I'm doing wind underscore speed, or if I'll hit enter, I'll do plus equal to 5. This is what I'm doing. And finally, I'm doing wind underscore speed minus minus. Okay. Now console.log wind underscore speed. So two problems here. Firstly, I want to hear what is the output of this code. Okay. Second thing, I want to hear from you what is the problem in this code. Who can tell me? We'll go one by one. Don't unmute, please. Don't unmute. Please just raise your hands. Thank you. We'll not spoil the fun. Okay. Just raise your hands, guys. Whosoever thinks they know the right answer. Okay, Sarita, the first one, very fast. Yes, Sarita, tell me what. Okay, just tell me the first answer. What is the output of this code?
First would be 81 plus equals to 5 will be 81, and
Okay.
then wind speed minus minus, that's post decrement. So first the
Mm-hmm.
value would be 81 and then minus minus 1, but while displaying it will display 80.
Okay, let's see the output. Let's see. Okay, so I just want to run only these lines, so I'll select it, and which means everything else above would be ignored. Let me run it. Brilliant, Sanita. So your answer is absolutely correct. Now, moving on to the next person in queue. I see somebody by the name of iPhone. I don't know what's your name, so I'll call it iPhone. So hi, iPhone, please unmute
Hey,
and
this
tell me your
is
name first. What's your
this is
name?
Mahati. This is Mahati. Sorry, I
Mahati.
didn't name it.
No worries.
Yeah, that
I
was
would suggest, yeah,
that
I
was my
would,
answer.
okay,
80.
okay,
So
that's
I
okay.
think somebody else told. Okay.
No, that is totally fine. Absolutely. See, guys, we are learning together. Okay. So it's okay if even if somebody is right, somebody is wrong. We are not here to criticize because that is the job of my manager to criticize. Okay. Yeah. We are not doing any politics here. We want to learn things in a fun way. Yeah. Okay. So who can tell me what is the issue with this code? Tell me, guys, other than Sanita and Mahati. I want to give you also a chance. Please try to answer it. Even if it is wrong, no judgments here. I didn't get it right for the first time, to be honest. Who can tell me? Yes, Shrikant. What is the issue in
So,
this code?
so we
Hmm.
are defining the wind speed. Wind speed cannot be at constant, right? So we are defining the wind speed into the particular on the line number 71. Is that the way?
Okay. No, nothing like this. So it has to be a let, right? Why? I'm trying to change the value. If I'm trying to change the value, it has to be let. It cannot be const, which is correct. That is not the issue I'm talking about. But yeah, that's a good attempt, Shrikant. That's okay. Yes, Wakas. Please tell me. What do you think?
Okay, I don't think you should have lower camel to write this, and you put it
Ah,
underscore speed, and you should
exactly.
okay.
Wakas, you got it. Okay. That is exactly what I was talking about. So, guys, this is called snake casing. Whenever we are using underscore here, this is called snake casing. Very important. So the snake casing is usually used in Python. Yeah, so Python language uses the snake casing, but Java and JavaScript don't use this thing. So in Java and JavaScript, how do I create this? Let me tell you. So in Java and JavaScript both, this is how we create. Let wind, I'll remove this underscore and capitalize S. This is called which casing, Vakas? Tell me. This is anyone?
Lower camel
Lower
case.
camel.
Lower camel casing. Brilliant, guys. I think you're able to follow now. So this is something that is not stopping my program, but still this is conventionally, this is not right. I mean, this one. Okay, so use this only in Python, not in JavaScript. Why? Imagine if there are 5 people in a team. So 3 people are following one way, 2 people are following another way, which can lead to a chaos. As a team, we all should follow one convention. Otherwise, it can lead to a lot of confusion. Don't just think from your perspective, think from a team perspective. We all want to basically move in the same direction. So, as a lead, or as a manager, or as an architect, this is our responsibility to guide our team that we all should follow one convention. We all should be consistent. I think you're able to understand. So, but yes, I'm so happy with you guys that you are giving some good answers. That's okay, even if you're getting it wrong. That's totally fine. We all are learning, right? That's not the focus, even if you're getting wrong. The thing is, we all are learning. Yes, Anita, you have a question?
No, I guess that was from the earlier question. I'll lower my
Okay,
hand. Sorry.
no worries. Okay, okay. Fine. So, Shrikant, you also have a question now?
Yeah, I have.
Hmm?
So we have three values for wind underscore speed.
Not three
Seven.
values. I'm updating it 2 times. That is what is happening. This,
Okay. So
this is
what
my
if I
first
want to,
updation. Go
correct.
ahead. Go
So
ahead.
what if I want to print the first updated value rather
Just
than the final?
Oh, that is very simple. Just use console.log after the first update. That's it. Now
Oh,
getting, yeah, very simple, no? See, just like this. Now clear the console so that there's no confusion. Now what is happening? This is the original value 76. I'm updating the value to 81 now, means I'm saying, okay, this plus equal to 5. Okay, I have not told you, my bad. Let me tell you, this is not difficult. So for beginners, this is what we are doing. Wind speed equal to wind speed plus of 5. Now you see, this is the same thing as this. So beginners will be able to understand this part better, but advanced people will not use it. Why? this looks like a duplication. See guys, I'm using this wind speed 2 times in one line. This is kind of a duplication. So as a, you can say, advanced automation engineer, I try to optimize my code as much as possible. So this is more about optimization. Don't worry if this thing doesn't make sense to you right now. Okay, you can use either this or this. So when you are writing code for the very first time, you don't want to care about optimization. All you care about is getting the fundamentals right. Later on, you'll focus on optimizing. So yes, this is the right way of writing as a beginner, but as an advanced person, this is the right way. Okay, so if I do this, what am I doing? I'm simply printing the first updated value. Then I'm decrementing by 1. Wind speed minus minus simply means, how do I write this? This is how I write. Wind speed equal to wind speed minus 1. But again, you see, I'm using wind speed 2 times, which is kind of a duplication, no? So this is a very, you can say, convenient shortcut for doing the same thing actually. But if this doesn't make sense, don't worry, use this, no worries. Now if I run this code, so now if I click on the play button, see, firstly it is printing what? 81, which is the first updated value. Then I'm doing what? Subtracting 1. Now it is printing the second updated. I hope that raises, clears our query, right, Shrikant?
Yeah, but I got one more question.
Okay,
Maybe this is
tell me.
silly. Yeah, so
Hmm.
we are able to run this 4 lines or 5 lines of code independently of any other thing. But I know when you run this Selenium or Java program, you need to have certain lines at the starting, like
Exactly.
main, void, something like that.
This is not applicable for this. Yeah, that's a good question. This is not applicable for this. This is only applicable, this play button is only applicable for JavaScript, not for your Playwright. In Playwright, we have to start from the first line itself. We cannot
Oh,
skip lines.
okay.
Yeah. So this run code extension is only for your JavaScript. Means you can select only some particular lines of code and run it and ignore everything else. Not in Playwright. In Playwright, we'll have to run using npx playwright test. If it doesn't make sense to you right now, don't worry. We'll talk about this later. But I
And
hope for
okay,
now
so
you're able to
due to
follow.
the extension only, we are able to do that.
Correct. Yes, it
Okay.
is just because of the extension.
Sure.
I'm so glad, guys. You are asking
Thanks,
some very
Piyush.
thoughtful questions. Yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. Okay. So, okay, I'm still seeing 48 participants. Nobody dropped. Yeah, that's a very good retention now. It means you guys are actually following. Yeah, liking it. Okay. And I would suggest if you have not enrolled in, so today is the last class, guys. I would suggest please do get yourself enrolled if you want to continue from later on. Okay. Now, moving on, another rapid fire question. This is something I really love it actually. Okay. So before that, let me tell you something interesting now. So let me create a number like this. Let num equal to, suppose if I write a pretty big number, see, anyone can tell me how to read this number? It is very hard. Even I'm finding it very hard to read this number. Why? So many zeros, very hard to read. Is there a way to make it better? Okay, this is a very confusing number. Okay, so what do? I can do something which is very simple. So here, let me do. After every 3 zeros, I'll use an underscore. Again, after every 3 zeros. And I'm grouping them together. So you see what is happening here? Now I can easily understand this is a trillion. So this underscore is only for JavaScript. Okay. So when JavaScript is really running this code, it is simply going to ignore these underscores. This is only to make your number, which is very unreadable previously, a lot easier. And this is what? A trillion. Okay. So this is very simple concept. It is all about making your code readable, guys. That's it. Okay. And it's not just that you have to use with zeros only. You can use it with different things as well. So for example, let's say you want to store a credit card number. Let credit card equal to, let's say, how many digits you have in credit card? 16, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'll write 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, very hard to read. In that case, rather than grouping by 3, I'll now group by 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, something like this. 13, 14, 15, 16. I think now it is so easy to understand. See, guys, that is all about grouping. So this underscore is a very helpful thing, especially for large numbers. Otherwise, it is very hard to read. Yeah, I think very simple concept you all are able to follow. So this underscore is only for readability, not for calculation. And JavaScript will ignore these underscores. Yeah, JavaScript will ignore them. So what I'll do is I'll also add this entire JavaScript file in your Google Drive link so that if you want to just take a look at this file for your reference, I will be sharing this entire JavaScript file in your Google Drive link. Okay. So in case if you are thinking I'm going to share it, yes, I will share it for sure. Okay. So we are done with our very first topic actually, guys. Okay. So we have seen some good number of examples. Okay. So who can tell
Yeah,
me?
Piyush,
Yeah.
doubt,
Okay.
like this might be a silly one, but there
Yes,
when we
Vandana.
are just when we are just using wind speed plus 5
Hmm.
so can we just put it as is equal to plus 5?
Sorry, Sandra, there's a lot of background noise from your side. I'm getting a lot of, I know, I'm not sure. Your voice is not
Ah,
very clear.
sorry. Is it clear now?
Yes, better. You were saying something about this line, I believe, line number 74.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, there we have used as plus is equal to. Can we use is equal to and plus?
No. You can. No. Okay. Okay. What you are saying is use equal to and plus. No, this is how you use
Yes.
it. So basically, if you do what? If you try to do this, what you have to do is use plus first, then you basically you take this equal to and put it after plus. That's it.
Okay.
Getting? This is how you can try it. But I would still suggest try it with the opposite. Try with equal to and plus and see what you get it. This is how you
Yeah, I
practice.
just wanted to try in that way.
Okay. That is what I'm saying.
My
You try
version
it.
was the same.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll just do it.
No worries. Okay. And I would suggest, guys, if you have any questions, I would suggest you please raise your hands. Okay. So Saran is saying, can we use underscore for strings? In strings, unfortunately, no. This underscore will be a part of the string. It will not be ignored actually. Yeah, it will not ignore. Okay. So project, I think the same we can use with TypeScript. Yes. Okay. So I'm so glad you guys are asking very good questions. So we are done with this particular topic. Okay. So a quick question. Who can tell me what is exponentiation operator? Quick question. Anyone who can just raise your hands. Please don't unmute, just raise your hands. What is exponentiation operator? Quickly. Okay, Shrikant. Yes.
Raised to the power. Uh,
Raised to the power. Correct. Basically, it is what? Two stars. In simple terms, two stars put together. This is called exponentiation operator. Brilliant. Okay. So guys, that is something which is important. Recap is something, revision or repetition is extremely important. Okay. So that is what we have seen. Okay. Okay. And yeah, as per the good practice, should we use let? Should we use const? We should try to use const as much as possible as per good practice. Why? You want to have as little variable changes, as little variable mutations as possible. Why? If there is a variable that you think might not change, just go with const. Don't use let at all. Use let only when you think that variable might change in the future. Otherwise, go with const. Okay. You want to be as restrictive as possible in your coding. Yeah. So try to use const as much as possible. I'm not saying you have to use const. I'm saying try to use. Okay. But if the situation demands that you have to change it, doesn't make sense to use const. You have to use let in that case. Yeah. Okay. So that is what we do. Okay. So, and one more thing, I'll tell you one thing. So if I go to this Google, if I right click and click on inspect, I go to the console. So I have told you we can create the variables using let or const or var. Okay. What if I try to create a variable, something like this, last name, look at this. Can I create a variable name like this? Tell me guys. Anyone can unmute and tell me. No need to raise your hands. I'm not using let, I'm not using const, not even var, nothing. I'm simply using class name equal to Gupta. Is this allowed or not? Anyone?
It is allowed.
yes.
Unfortunately, it is allowed. Unfortunately. This is a very terrible way of creating a variable, but yes, somebody mentioned, I could not see who that person is, but yes, thank you so much. This is absolutely correct. This is allowed. So if I now try to do this last name, it is giving me this value. And guys, if you notice something in browser console, I don't need console.log. I need console.log only in VS Code. Because by default, if I simply write wind underscore speed or any variable, it will not print it. If you want to print the value in browser console, just use the variable name. Yes, you can still use console.log. But is it needed? The answer is no. This is completely optional in your browser. because we are in the browser console only. No need to specially use console.log. I hope it is clear. Okay, so we are done with this particular part, and now we'll move on to some very interesting exercise, which is your coding exercise. But before we move on, anyways, we are almost 1 hour now in the class. You guys want a 5 to 10 minute break, or you want me to continue? Up to you guys. I'll go with the majority. If people say they want a 5 to 10 minute break, we will. Otherwise, we will continue.
We can continue.
Okay, some people are saying, okay, one person saying break, 3 are saying continue. Oh my God, everybody is saying continue. So guys, there's no question only now. Looks like you are really enjoying. Oh, Najat is saying continue. Sachin is saying continue. Bhavani, great. Continue. So we'll have to go with the majority, guys. Okay. So, and what if I need the break? No, I don't need the break for now. I just had my dinner anyway. So let us continue. So, okay, moving on. Now we'll do a small coding exercise. Basically, this will give you a lot of confidence, guys. People who have never done coding before, now we'll try to break your myth that coding is difficult. No, it is not difficult because it is easy. Why? JavaScript is easy. You want to keep on telling this yourself again and again. Now, moving on. So let me give you a small exercise. So let me do one thing. So in JavaScript, how do I create a new file? Just select the folder. And now if I click on the plus button, the file would be created inside JS. But if I click here, can you see this blue boundary now? And now if I click on the plus, what should happen? The file would be created, but not inside JS, but in the root. So you have to be careful. Yeah. So you select JS and now click on the plus. Let me create a file. Let's say one coding.js. Okay. And you see, VS Code is giving me such a nice icon. Basically, this icon really helps me, basically enhances my development experience a lot better. That is why we never code in Notepad or something like this. We always use professional editors, not only because of this syntax highlighting and all. There are tons of other advantages that we'll keep on seeing now. Okay. So this is my question. Look at this, guys. Now, look at this question. Rahul and Aman, they are two people. So Rahul and Aman are trying to compare their BMI. Okay. So BMI means body mass index. Okay. So what is the formula for calculating BMI? Very simple. Your weight, which is in kg, divided by height and square. That is how we create the BMI. Okay. So we can write height square. We can write height into height or whatever it is, where mass or weight is in kg and height is in meter. Okay. Very simple. So what is my requirement now? I want to store Rahul's and Aman's weight, and I want to store their height in two separate variables. So we know how to create variables now. Yeah. Okay. So we have to do this. The second thing, I want to calculate both their BMIs using the formula. Which formula? Either of this formula. Okay. So we have the formula. We know how to create the variables we have seen previously, right? Now I'll create a Boolean variable. So this is something we have not yet done, but don't worry. Boolean is that variable that Boolean is that data type that can only contain two values, true or false. Okay. So guys, I would request you to please stay muted. Thank you so much. Now, okay. So Boolean is that kind of question that can only be answered in true or false. Suppose if I ask you, Indian people, let's say, so is today Saturday or not? Okay, even for US people, it is anyway Saturday. It's morning for them. It is evening for us. Yeah, so anybody can answer. Yeah. So if I ask you, is today Saturday? You will only answer yes or no. Can you answer maybe? No, there is no maybe, right? Unless we got up after a very deep sleep. No. Okay. So this Boolean can only be answered in true or false. Yeah. So I want to create a Boolean variable, which is this lower camel casing again, guys. Okay. Important. So I'll create a Boolean variable, and here I'll store which one has a higher BMI. And this is my test data. So Rahul has this weight. Okay. And this is the height of Rahul in meters. Okay. And then Aman has this weight 92 kg, and this is the height of Aman. Yeah. So this is the simple program. We, we will be using some bad practices first so that we can learn what not to do. Yeah. Okay. So let us get started. So I'll write some bad practices. Okay. So I'll definitely do some mistakes here. Deliberately, I'll do some mistakes, and I will give you some opportunity because this program is going to teach us good amount of concepts. Okay. So after basically solving this particular problem, I get to see from most of the manual testers who have never done coding before. Oh my God, Piyush, is this so easy? I thought coding used to be very difficult, but no, guys, coding is not difficult. It's just your self-limiting beliefs. That is something, the lie that you have told yourself that coding is difficult. No, it is not difficult. It is actually easy, provided you are learning and you are practicing properly. Yeah. So I was very afraid of Java, in case if you're not sure. Okay. I was very afraid of Java, very afraid of coding. But in spite of my fear, I started acting. Yes. That is how you cure any kind of fear, not just coding, any kind of fear. Start acting in spite of fear. And I'll be teaching a lot of personal development things. Why? I'm very good with book reading. And I'll be keep on sharing these thoughts and people love it. So I'll be keep on sprinkling these kind of things in between. Okay. Now, moving on to the coding. What do I do? The first thing, okay, I will create the states data. Okay, so the first thing, I'll create the weight of the Rahul. So I'll do what? I want to store their height and weight in variables. Means I want 4 variables, 2 for Rahul, weight and height, 2 for Aman. So let me create first for, let's say, Rahul. Say I'll do weight of Rahul equal to, what is the weight of Rahul? Okay, we have 78. Perfect. Let me, okay, copy. Let me paste it. So first is weight of Rahul, then is height of Rahul. Okay, so height of Rahul. What is the height of Rahul? 1.69 meters. Okay, same thing. What do I do? I'll create 2 variables for Aman now. So weight of Aman. What is weight of Aman? This is 92. Okay. What is height of Aman? 1.95. Let's see. Okay. So weight of Aman, oh yeah, height of Aman. I forgot. And guys, I've started making these small mistakes. Please spot these mistakes. You don't have to tell me now. I will give an opportunity to ask me questions or tell me. So I'm muting somebody. So guys, please stay muted. Thank you. Now, moving on. So these are the 4 variables where we have some small mistakes, small mistakes. Okay. Now, what do I want to do? I want to basically calculate their BMI. So the first part is over. I've already stored Rahul's data and Aman's data here, which is fine. The second part now. I want to calculate both their BMIs using the formula. Which formula? This one. This is how we calculate the BMI. Okay. So let me do one thing. So how do I create BMI? I'll do like this. So let BMI of Rahul equal to, how do we calculate BMI? Weight of Rahul divided by height square. So what is the weight of Rahul? Copy. Okay. Divided by height of Rahul in square. Okay. This is what I've done. Okay. Now, I hope you must have understood what is the point of creating variables. See, I've stored this value in weight of Rahul and now I can use this variable name as many times as I want. Otherwise, without creating the variable, I'll have to use this value so many times. So if I put my hand on this weight of Rahul, very hard to understand what is 78. But now anyone who looks at this variable can understand, okay, this variable is containing some weight of some person, which is Rahul's weight. Yeah, that is why we create variables, guys. Okay, so moving on. This is how we create the BMI of Rahul. Same. Can I create the BMI of Aman? Very easy. Let BMI of Aman equal to weight of Aman divided by, oops, I didn't copy properly. Copy, paste. Yeah, so weight of Aman divided by height of Aman square. Height of Aman into height of Aman. Okay, before we move on, I want you to tell me what are the issues in this code. Okay, so guys, please don't write in the chat. Please don't spoil it. Okay, so now I'll ask some of you. Please just raise your hands. Just raise your hands. Okay, yes, Shipra, tell me, what do you think is the first issue? Just tell me first issue.
So when we are creating the variable weight of Rahul, then Rahul, the R should be in a capital case, so it can be readable.
Perfect. Absolutely. So basically what you're talking about is lower camel casing because this is not a right way. Very well, Shipra. Very well. Okay. So now the problem is I want to change this value here and as well as here. So I will show you a very cool shortcut of VS Code. Okay, which I've learned pretty recently, just 6 months back only. And I used to think I'm an expert. Okay, I'm also learning, guys. So I want to change this weight of Rahul and as well as this weight of Rahul. So what do? I'll just replace this R here and see it is giving an error, not an error, basically a warning. Any means VS Code is complaining, I don't know what is this weight of Rahul because I have not declared this. Because anyone who can tell me, Shipra, you know the answer, why it is giving me these 3 dots?
Yeah, now it is because we have a different variable.
Exactly.
In let we have a Rahul with the capital R, and here we have a with a lower camel case.
Case
Exactly, because
sensitive.
JavaScript.
Case sensitive.
Correct, Shrikant, absolutely. JavaScript is case sensitive, guys. Okay, so this wait Rahul is completely different from this wait Rahul where R is in lowercase. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it here. Okay, so now this is correct. Brilliant, Shipra. Very well. Okay, same. I think you can now tell that we can even change this Rahul height as well. So one option is, let me show you a very cool way of doing it. So if you see here, height of Rahul is how many places? 3 places. What if I want to change Rahul's height? Means I'll have to come here, use R, use R here and here. Can you see I'm doing 3 separate operations for making this change? But in VS Code, let me, undo my changes. Let me show you a very cool technique, very cool hack in VS Code. So if you want to change it, simply select the first occurrence which you want to change. And now in VS Code, if you are on Windows, press Control D. If you are on Mac, press Command D. If you are doing it with me right now, do it right now. Control D or Command D. Look at this. Can you see multi-cursor now? One cursor is here, one cursor is here. Very cool trick in VS Code. So I have how many cursors? Only 2 cursors. I need one more cursor here. Again, I'll press Control D one more time. Means I now will change these 3 words at the same time. Very cool feature in VS Code. I bet 90% of you will not be aware of this. See this. Height and see. I'm typing at the same time at 3 separate locations. Very cool feature of VS Code. This is called multi-cursor. So as an automation developer, we should know these shortcuts. If I'm a lead, if I'm a manager, if I'm an architect, it is expected that I should know these things. I cannot say that meko nahi aata. I don't know this. No, we cannot do this. Yeah. So for this, you use Control and D, or you can simply use Command and D for multi-cursor. And I'll share this file as well with you. Everything I'll be sharing, whatever is there in this particular folder, I'll share it with you. Okay. Now moving on. So we have basically did one thing. Okay. What else? Okay, so Komal, any other issue that you can spot in this code? Please tell me.
So these variables can be constant as it is weight and height and will not change.
Brilliant, actually. Very well, very well. I was expecting this. So, yes, I'm not planning to change weight of Rahul and then height of Aman. It has to be constant. So, guys, I understand that you are paying attention. So, how do I change this let? I think we know now. Simply select the first occurrence, Control D or Command D. Multi-cursor. Again, I want to update this as well and this as well. Control D again or Command D again. Instead of let, I'll use const. Can you see how cool this feature is? Okay, so just type something over here and you will get this const. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is clear. Anything else? Okay, Vignesh, moving on to the next person. Thank you so much, Komal. Yes, Vignesh, what do you think?
Yeah, line number 28, I think we have to use bracket.
Okay,
Height
where
Rahul.
exactly? Tell me.
I mean height Rahul into height Rahul. So that should comes within the bracket.
Not really, actually. Not really. It depends, but this can be confusing. In India, we call something as BODMAS. You might, in US, they call it PEMDAS. US people call it PEMDAS. Indian people call it BODMAS, which is what? Bracket of division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. This is also similar. This P is parenthesis. I don't know what is this E in US. I don't know. US folks may know better. Okay. Now, but it is always a good idea. Okay. So Vignesh you are raising a very important point here. This is always a good idea to reduce the confusion that if I use parenthesis. Right, Vignesh? What do you think? I think this will clear the confusion a lot more. Yeah.
Yes, for coding standard, yeah, I used to do that, so that's why.
Exactly. Otherwise, it is very hard to understand. Suppose if I don't know any of this, how would I understand? Would this happen first or this would happen first? It will be decided based upon their priority of operators. We'll cover this later on. For now, if we see this part, this, okay, but if I want to tell JavaScript or force JavaScript to only do this, irrespective of the priority, use brackets. Okay, so I hope we are learning good concepts here in this particular small, silly program. Okay, yeah, so this is what we can do. Okay, so moving on. Who can tell me? So, okay, who can tell me how can I optimize line number 30? There is a way to
We use
optimize this line.
raised power formula which you told.
Guys, please stay muted. Please raise your hands, okay? Even I understand we are excited, so please raise your hands, okay? Okay, so Yes. Okay. So I see Hemanya, which is actually Gayatri, I believe. Yes, Gayatri. Now tell me.
Yeah. Can we use height Rahul star 2 raised power 2?
Okay. You mean to say this? This is height of Rahul multiplied by 2. That is what it means. This is not raised to the power. How do I raise to the power? By using 2 stars. Remember, guys? Remember, Gayatri?
Yeah. Sorry.
So, yeah, nobody, no sorry here. We are learning together, guys. As I was telling you, we are learning together. No sorries here. We are learning. So, if you see this and compare with this, which is better? This is better, of course. Why? This is more compact. Right, guys? Gayatri, clear? Okay?
Yep.
Yes. Same thing. Can I change this height of a man with this? Yes. I can use star of 2. So guys, deliberately I made these mistakes so that now you can understand. Coding standards are extremely important. And if you think you will become better coder from day one, no, sorry, not gonna happen. You will have to take years if you really want to be a good coder. And again, years to really become an architect like me. Okay, I'm into this industry for 20 plus years now. And it is not a joke, guys. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience, a lot of mistakes. Okay, nobody can become an architect from day one. Okay, yes, Reshma, if you have anything to say, please tell me. Yes, Reshma, I can hear you. Please tell me.
No, not actually. I just raised the hand for the questions. That's okay.
Okay. No worries. Okay. So, guys, we have one more thing. How about this BMI? Do I want to change the BMI? No, right? Or should I? Sure. This BMI, should it be let or const? Yes, Ravi, tell me.
Actually, sir, my question is you can use the decimal number. So in Java, we can use the float and double. So in the
Correct.
Java.
Yes, in Java, we have float and double, but in JavaScript, we have one type number. We don't have to think about this.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, that's a good question. Okay. So, okay, I was talking about this BMI. So here it should also be const because BMI I'm not planning to change. So as I was telling you earlier, try to be as restrictive as possible. So how do I change it? Again, select the first occurrence, Control D or Command D, and change it to const. I don't want to change the BMI, guys. This has to be a constant. Okay, moving on. Okay, so what else we do? So I think the first part is done. Great. Second part is also done. Brilliant. The third thing, I want to create a Boolean variable Rahul higher BMI. Okay. Anyways, the program is silly. It is clearly telling you that Rahul has a higher BMI. That's okay. So Rahul higher BMI. So what do? Again, I'll create one more constant. No let this time. So const Rahul higher BMI. And I want to store what? It is a Boolean variable. What is the meaning of Boolean variable? It will contain only true or false. So if this Rahul has a higher BMI, it will store true. If the BMI of Aman is higher than Rahul, it will store false. How do I do? It is very simple, not difficult. Anyone can maybe want to do a quick guess? Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
Yeah, so we can just use greater than sign. So it will
Brilliant.
be BMIM Rahul greater than BMIMN.
Absolutely. Very well to hear. I think, Sachin, you are the one who spoke to me on call the other day.
Yes,
Right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
I remember you. Okay. So BMI phone. Anyways, you're also Gupta like me, so I understand. Another Banya.
Okay, yeah.
So guys, sorry if you are not liking the fact that I'm really having fun and teaching at the same time because I know you are used to boring kind of lectures. Unfortunately, I'm have to disappoint you. If you think the lectures are boring, no, it has to be interactive so that you guys should have fun. Okay, whenever we are having fun, we like to do this more of it. Why do we want to play games? We really feel good. Okay, that is why we want to play games. Why do we want to stop the office work at 6? Because it is boring at times. Okay, so Rahul higher BMI Rahul greater than BMI of Aman. So this greater than is an operator and it gives me either true or false. Yeah. So this is what is happening. Okay. So guys, we learned good number of things. Let me tell you, we are going to learn something more. Console.log. Now, my requirement is I want to print BMI of Rahul and BMI of Aman and I want to print this. Can I print 3 variables in one line using console.log? The answer is yes. But is it required? No. I can have 3 separate console.logs or I can have basically 3 words printed in one console.log. How? Simply do this. BMI of Rahul, BMI of Aman, and then Rahul higher BMI. Okay, so that is what I've done. Okay, So this is what I have done. Okay, I see somebody posting in the message. I have a question or something you might be missing. Okay, so why I'm getting this error? Because of this small comma, which is fine. Okay, let me remove this unnecessary space. So there might be some things that I'm missing and I will give an opportunity. Okay, so let us run this, and Vakas, I'll just come to you very soon. So now if I run this entire code, let's see the output. So this time, is it required to select all of this? No, there's nothing else in this file anyway, right? There's no need to select it. I'll simply click on the play button over here. That's it. See the output, 27 point this. So this is the BMI of Rahul. Then we have the BMI of Aman, and Rahul has a higher BMI because it is true. Anyone now, another question to people now. Okay, who can tell me what is the issue with this output? Yes, the output is correct. Absolutely. But what is the issue with this output? Who can tell me? Okay, I see Vakas. Yes, Vakas, tell me.
One is that it's not defining of the person who's BMI in the code. It's not friendly. Second, that the question that I was having is that you didn't put kg on there. So basically, if you're calculating in lb or kg, it should be also defined as well too, because
Okay,
that's
yes.
part of the question.
Yes, we can define kg or something, but here since I want to perform these calculations, I don't need kg here. Otherwise, the calculations would not happen properly. Okay?
Not calculation, but in parentheses, you told us to have good
Okay. In print,
practices.
yeah. Okay. When we are printing, yes, then we can have it. It totally depends how you want to write it. So yes, point taken. Okay. But as you rightly mentioned, here I cannot understand whose BMI is this. Is it Rahul's or is it Aman's or is it vice versa? We don't know whose BMI is what. So very well pointed by Wakas here. So is there a way out? In Java, some of you might have seen we use multiple string concatenations, which can get very nasty. But JavaScript, we will use something which is very cool feature of JavaScript. Okay, what is that cool feature? How to print what is what? Is this Rahul's? Is this Aman's? And what is this? We don't know. How do I use something in JavaScript? Simply use this. This will give you a very nice output. Now I'll not clear the console so that you can compare this output with the new output that I'm about to run now. Look at this, guys. Play button. See the output and compare it. You only tell me which one is looking better. I think it's a very silly question now because you all know which is better. This is better or this is better. Guys, able to understand? Yeah. This is how we solve problems in JavaScript. I think it is not difficult, right? I think this should give you a lot of confidence that yes, it is doable. Coding is something we all can do, even if you have never done coding before. Okay. Yes, Gayatri, you have a question. Very well, Sai.
No, I'm trying to understand how it goes. If I know you're trying to help us with the first program, but if the uh, like quantities are in different, like it is in centimeters, and if we want to convert into meters, how it goes.
Okay,
And
I totally get that. You can add as much of complexity into this program, but I'm trying to avoid this kind of complexity. Why? We are learning programming for the first time. So rather than overwhelming you with so much of different complexity, let us keep it simple. Okay. Otherwise, there's no limit to the complexity we can add. So yes, whatever you're saying is absolutely valid. Okay. Yes. Yes, Sita. Go ahead.
So
You have a
that
question.
can be,
Yes. Tell me.
Yes, actually.
yeah, that can be handled, isn't it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So moving on.
Yeah,
Yes, Sita. Tell me.
yeah, actually, I have a doubt in line number 34, 33. So
Okay.
there actually we are not declared any Boolean type. Okay. So actually just we are printing Rahul higher BMI, which is if Rahul is higher than Aman, we are just printing that Rahul higher BMI. So here
Correct.
we have to directly print that Rahul BMI, right? So how we are defining which is Boolean?
Yeah, so okay, that is a small problem in this program. So because the problem itself says, see, if you look at the problem statement, even the problem statement clearly tells you this is the variable name you have to use. Yes, this is not the right way. I totally understand what you're saying. Okay, because it's not that Rahul has a higher BMI. Maybe Aman might have a higher BMI. Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
correct. But the problem statement says like this. That is why I'm using it. I'm simply following the program.
Okay,
Are you
okay.
getting? But in
Okay.
Java, we defined something called as Boolean. But this is not Java. Are you getting?
Yes. Yeah, yeah,
We
got it.
cannot use Boolean here. We have to use either let or const or var. So var is something
Yes.
we never use. We have to use either let or cons. Getting Sita now?
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay, very well. Okay, yes, Vikas, you have a question.
Yeah, Piyush. So currently, we are declaring variable as a const for the height and weight, right? So these are the changeable things in the future. The height and weight may change, or we have a requirement like the current person height and weight at current point it is something this, and tomorrow it may change. So it should not be a let.
You mean to say let? You mean, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because height and weight which you are given, so it may change in the future, right?
Correct. If they change in the future, we'll have to change here itself, right? Are you getting now? If they change, we can change it here itself. Not specially updating this. Yes, if you want to change later on, you can change it. Up to you. But if you think logically here, this weight of Rahul might change in the future. This height of Rahul might not change if he's above 80. So if you still want to change, you can change it here, no? Suppose if it is, let's say tomorrow it is 80 now. Just replace 78 with 80. Getting?
Okay, I thought we can reassign also by taking the let variable.
We can, okay, so what you are asking is absolutely correct. Technically, we can do this, but is it something in the same program? Can you imagine that weight of Rahul suddenly increased to 80 in the same program? No, right?
Okay.
Yeah, in this case, so if you want to do it, better to use let or cons, and later if it changes, just change 78 to 80 or whatever it is required. But yeah, that's a very valid question. Anything else you would like to ask me?
No, please,
Yeah,
thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Rajkumar.
Yeah, so like possibly say we may be taking the say the weight or and the height of the person say programmatically or over a window. So maybe a pop-up or something like a prompt. So likewise, say we may be entering some value and that can be collected in let actually. So like in case we are taking it say using a prompt. So can that be collected with cons also?
Yes, absolutely. That is what I'm saying. There is no right or wrong thing here. It totally depends upon your requirement. In this particular case, the logical thing is this weight of Rahul is not supposed to change in the same program. Means after 5 minutes, my weight is not going to change. Okay. So in that case, I don't want to change it. But if required, I can change it. Like previously, somebody was asking me, can I use let? Yes, I can use let. Later on, if I want to change, I can use it. But is it really needed? I think it is not. So there is no right or wrong here. Sometimes you may have your perspective, I may have my perspective. You may be right in your way, I may be right in my own way.
So programmatically also, like in case we are taking the help of the window to put the say the
correct.
So still const can be used.
Correct. You can certainly do this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I see some more people. Okay. So one last question, then we'll move on to another part. So Yash, yes. Okay, please go ahead. I'm seeing you. Yeah. Yes, Yash.
Hi. I just wanted to understand uh, when we are writing here const Rahul higher BMI, then we are using the greater sign, and that is it is showing true value, because in Java we say boolean true if we put if statements and then we say okay if this is that then you put true. But what here we are just putting greater sign, so I'm just confused that we are
okay. And what's the good name, by the way?
Yash.
Yash. Okay. So Yash, to answer your question, so this is basically this greater than is what? It is an operator. Which operator? It is a comparison operator. We'll talk about these operators in depth later on. But for now, anyways, you are asking me, this is a comparison operator. And this comparison operator always returns either a Boolean value, true or false. Later, we'll see there is better way of writing the code. How? Simply use the if and else condition.
Yeah.
Simply use the if and else condition. Getting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so guys, so I think next week. So guys, we have learned good number of things here. And see, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you think maybe your way is slightly better, of course, go with it. Okay, because we all have a different perspective. Okay, so don't worry. Yeah, but the point of this exercise is just to give you a lot of hope. The point of this exercise is just to give you good thought process that yes, coding is doable. Yes, we can still make further optimizations because Okay, and what we have seen is this is what? This is creating an object in JavaScript. We will learn this in advanced or maybe intermediate JavaScript. What are objects? So whenever you use these curly brackets, this is basically what? It is a key value pair. We'll talk about this key value pairs. Okay, this is first, this is second, this is the third key value pair. This is what? A JavaScript object. We'll talk about objects in object-oriented programming, but this is a standalone POJO, plain old JavaScript object. So using this, I can see the value and the key, which is what is making my program a lot more readable. Okay, so that is it. And now we will move on to another topic. Okay, so we are done with this coding exercise, and now we'll move on to this topic, how to model data efficiently. Now we'll move on to another topic, which is Booleans now. Okay, so moving back, I'll click on
Before
this.
that, one quick question. Sorry.
Yes, Ashma, go ahead.
The BMI Rahul is not in lower camel casing. Is it like
Oh, I totally forgot to change it.
oversight or
Yeah.
yeah?
So BMF Aman, it has to be in uppercase. Thank you so much for pointing this out. So I'll change this. Yeah, three separate ways. So Control D, Control D, Control D. BMI Aman. That is what you said, right, Reshma?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay, okay. And this weight of Aman, I forgot to change this as well. So weight of Aman, okay. So it has to be weight of Aman. Same for height of Aman. Control D, height of Aman. Yeah, so now it is well. Okay, see guys, I also make mistakes. Okay, so nobody's perfect here. So, but thank you so much. Yeah. Now,
Sir, I
okay.
also have a question.
Yes, Sachin.
Sir, so just now you mentioned that when we give the curly braces, it is actually the object. So it is printing the value based on the key value pair. But let's
Correct.
say if I want to print some string along with it. So let's say Rahul has a higher BMI, and after that I want to print the Boolean value, true or false. So can we do that?
Yes, you can do this. We will see this in strings, how to basically do these kind of manipulations. At the moment, I don't want to confuse people, so we are going very, very slowly here. So
Okay.
to answer your question, we can do this. Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, and guys, I'll show you something interesting. So I think I've already told you, but quickly, if I open this file, you see it is slightly in italics. Who can tell me what is the purpose of this italics? Don't unmute, just raise your hands. What is the purpose of this italics? Meaning of this italics? Anyone? You see it is slightly in italics. This file, basics. Yes, Vihari.
Maybe unsaved.
No, not unsaved. I'm so glad I asked this question. I know some of the people have doubts. Why it is in italics? Sometimes it is in italics, sometimes it's not. Anyone?
Maybe you are working on this file right now.
No, not the correct one. Anyone else? No one? Okay, I'll tell you. This is very important, guys. So this simply means this particular window is not pinned. This tab is not pinned yet. Means if I open any other file, look at this. This is not pinned. If I open any other file, it is going to replace that file. See, again, this is not pinned. If I now open basics.js, it will be opened. So basically, this file is not pinned. Now, what if I double click on it? See, it is no longer italics, means it is now pinned, means this tab will stay open. And now if I open typescript.ts, it will open in a separate tab, but again, it is not pinned. I hope you get it. Yeah, it's a very simple thing, but we should know these small things about VS Code. Yeah, now if I
Isn't
double
that
click,
by default? Like in my VS Code, it is opening in a new tab whenever I open a new.
huh? Okay, it may be because of this VS Code settings actually, but by default it opens like this only. You might have done some small change here, because by default it should open like unpinned. So if I okay, see I've closed everything. Now if I open anything, see by default it is unpinned. I have to double click on it to make it pinned. But there are some settings in VS Code wherein you can basically pin it as soon as you're opening it. So VS Code is very customizable tool, very powerful tool. You can do these kind of customizations. Yeah. Okay. So that's good one. Now, moving on, we'll talk about Booleans. So I'll come back to this basics.js. Now we'll learn about Booleans. So we started with what? We have covered numbers. We'll start with Booleans, why it is very simple. Then we'll move on to strings, finally null and undefined. So we are going in a very structured format, guys. Yeah. So Booleans. What are Booleans? Booleans are basically true or false. There is no third Boolean value. That's what I mean. Let me give you some examples. So let, okay, I'll use let or const, doesn't matter now. Let is logged in equal to true. Okay, another example. Let is game over equal to false. You might have observed I'm using this is word here. Any special meaning? Anyone can tell me why we are using is? Anyone can raise his hand. I mean, unmute, just unmute without raising hands. Any special reason for
Boolean
using it?
to
Not.
indicate that.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely, Reshma. This is defines I'm asking a question. Whenever I'm asking somebody in English, is this done? It means I'm asking a question. Okay. So uh, I can use couple of things. I can use is, I can use has. Basically, it signifies what? I'm asking a question. Is means give me answer in true or false. Am I logged in? True or false? Is the game over? True or false? Is it really necessary? No, you could have used like this also, logged in. But I think is logged in looks a lot better and clear that I'm asking a question. Okay, so it is not mandatory, just a good practice. So, okay, let is logged in equal to true, is game over equal to false. Yeah, another silly example. Const is water wet. See, I'm asking a question, is water wet? Okay, it can only be answered in true or false, which is true. Yeah, so that is only relevance of using let. So booleans are what? They are simply true or false. Yes or no, true or false. Okay, but in JavaScript we write true or false only. Yes or no is for your understanding, 0 and 1 is for your understanding, but the values are only true or false. 0 and 1 are not included, just for your understanding. Okay, so this concludes your boolean. And somebody was asking me, variables can change their types in JavaScript, which doesn't happen in Java. Okay, this is called dynamic typing. What is dynamic typing in JavaScript? Dynamic typing means that this particular variable, which is initially defined with whatever type, can change. Means if it is Boolean, later on I can change it to number. Later on I can change it to a string. Yes, I can change it to null. So is this allowed? The answer is yes. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say I create a variable num of donuts equal to 12. Now, what am I doing? I have created a variable in the memory and stored this value. Okay, this is the variable name. Now, if it was Java, I would have used int. This is not Java. I have to use let or const. Okay, but if I'm planning to change, I will use let. Now, can I do this? Num of donuts equal to false. Unfortunately, it is allowed in JavaScript. Okay, so I will not get an error here. So can I do this? Num of donuts equal to, let's say, hello. This is also allowed. So if you want to see the intermediate value, like somebody was asking, just use console.log somewhere in the middle. Use one console.log here, use another console.log here. Okay, and you will see the first updated value and the second updated value. Okay, so now let me just use console.log once. So console.log num, and you see I don't even have to type the complete name of the variable. Just type a partial name and VS Code will give you the suggestion. Another reason why we should use professional editors like VS Code or maybe IntelliJ or maybe Eclipse. You don't get this particular syntax highlighting and this thing in your notepad. Okay. And what is this called? This small window. Anyone can tell me what is this window called as? This small window that we see here. Whether it is IntelliJ or Eclipse or VS Code, it has a special name. Anyone?
Intelligence?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So a beginner person will say suggestion box. So yes. So good answer for beginners, but for professionals, it is IntelliSense. Let me write it for you. IntelliSense. This is a professional name whenever you are doing something like this. So console or simply use like this. This is also an IntelliSense. Yeah. Okay. So now let me run this. So what is the value? Oh, sorry, not num. It should be num of donuts. This is IntelliSense. Yeah. Now, let me select only this. Why? I don't want to run the other pieces. I want to run only these 4 or 5 lines. So I'll select this play button. And I'm getting this output, which is hello. Okay, so you see it is giving me not 12, not false, but the last updated value. So this console log will give me the last updated value. And this is called dynamic typing. Dynamic typing means I can change the type of a variable. Okay, ideally it should not be done. So JavaScript is slightly odd, and we have seen this is not allowed in TypeScript, but it is allowed in JavaScript. So we should know that what are the pros and cons of JavaScript. Nobody will ask you this in interview, but for your understanding, for your concepts, you should know what is happening here. Okay, this is called your dynamic typing. Okay, so moving on. The next part. Now we'll move on to another data type. So we are done with numbers, we are done with Boolean. Now we'll come to strings. This is a pretty big topic. We will see a lot of things in strings. Yeah, so moving on, strings. What are strings? Strings are pieces of text or a group of characters. Well, suppose if you see my name, what is this? This is a string, right? It has characters PIYUSH. These are 6 characters joined together, which is called a string. Okay. So this is called a string. Perfect. Yeah. So this is one example of a string. Okay. Now, how do I store strings? In JavaScript, we can use strings in different ways. Okay. So how do we create a string? Very easy. Let's say let first name equal to Ziggy. And notice I'm using single quotes because in JavaScript, we can use single quotes, double quotes. We can also use backticks. Okay. But if you are comparing it with Java, in Java, we have only one quote, which is double quote. But in JavaScript, we can use either of them. Single quote is allowed, double quote is allowed, even that backtick is also allowed. Backtick. Where is backtick? Just below your escape key. Yeah. So you can use this. We will take some more examples. Let's say let MSG equal to hi there. Look at this. See, this is also allowed. I'm using single quote. I'm using double quote. So both of them are allowed in JavaScript. Okay. So can I do this now? Let pad string equal to means I'm starting with a single quote, but starting with a double quote, ending with a single quote. Is this allowed? No, this is not allowed. So let me write like this. This is wrong. See, I'm getting this red squiggly line. This squiggly line means this is an error, not allowed. So if you're starting with double quote, you have to end with double quote. If you're starting with single quote, you have to end with single quote. Yeah, this is not allowed. Okay, so you have to use double quotes here. Okay, or single quote, which wherever you are starting. Okay, so now there is one very important operator in JavaScript, which is called the type of operator. Now, what is this type of operator? Let us see. So this type of operator does what? It gives me the data type of a value. Let me give a very simple example. So I'll come back to my browser. Now, you see, we get so many errors there. This has nothing to do with us. So these are browser related errors we can simply ignore. How do I clear the console? Control L. And the errors are gone. If I'll just don't do anything now for the next 5 minutes later, I will again start seeing these errors. Something to do with Google, nothing to do with us. Now, what do I do? I want to see that whether the number 10 is a number or not. How do I know? Simply use the type of operator. See, again, I'm getting this IntelliSense or the suggestion box. So type of space 10 means this 10 is a number. If I want to find out that what is the type of my name, which is Piyush, what do I write? Type of, and then, okay, I can use single quote or double quote, anything will work. So let me use single quote. So what is this value? This is a string. That's what it means. 10 is a number, Piyush is a string. How do I find out at runtime? See, from visually I can see it is a number. Visually I can see it is a string. But how do I fetch it using JavaScript? There I have to use this type of operator. Type of 10 means number. Type of Piyush, string. Okay, so this is how we can use. Okay, now can I use single quote inside double quote? The answer is yes. So if you see this hi there, can I use single quote inside? Yes. This is allowed. Now, within single quotes, can I use double quote? This is also allowed. But Can I use double quote inside a double quote? This is not allowed. Why it is not allowed? We just saw, right? Single quote inside double quote allowed, double quote inside single quote, that is also allowed, but double quote inside double quote, not allowed. Single quote inside single quote, that is also not allowed. Why? Why? Because now JavaScript, not JavaScript, basically your VS Code, or you can even say JavaScript, is actually confused. Is your string ending here or is your string ending here? That is the confusion. Okay, so that is why this is not allowed, guys. Okay, so you have to do some things. Okay, later on we'll see how to basically do this, but for now just understand that this is not allowed. So let me comment it. How do I comment it? I'll use 2 forward slashes. Comment means ignore this line. This line will stay there in this file, but JavaScript will ignore this. That is the meaning of comment, means ignore this line. Is there a shortcut for this? Yes. One thing is, use simply type 2 forward slashes yourself. But if you want to use a shortcut, simply press Control and forward slash or Command and forward slash in Mac. Control and Command forward slash, and it will comment it. And you can use this Control or Command forward slash with multiple lines also. And this is a very quick shortcut. Otherwise, if you'll do this manually, you will have to write 2 forward slashes every time yourself. But if I'll do Command and forward slash or Control, see, I am commenting multiple lines at the same time. Very cool shortcut. We should know these things, guys. Okay, I know I'm teaching you a lot. Okay, but that is where you also want to make your own notes and practice this. Otherwise, you'll be very happy that you're learning good things. But by the next time, next weekend will happen, we'll again learn new things and previous things will start fading away. Okay, so you want to practice. Sorry guys, repetition is how you learn any new thing. People who says repetition is not good, no, they don't really understand psychology. Yeah, you want to repeat things again and again till it goes to your subconscious mind, and that is how real learning happens. Moving on, I hope you're able to understand this. Okay, so now we have something called a string concatenation. So some of you are from Java background, this is something you know already. String concatenation. Let me give an example. So, okay, moving on. So if I do this, let first name, which I have already created this, and now I'll create let last name equal to, let's say, canary, whatever. So what is happening? I'm creating one string in the memory, another string in the memory, another string in the memory. 3 strings I have in the memory now. Okay, so, and finally, I'm doing something like this. First name plus last name. If I'm doing, can anyone tell me what is happening here? Anyone, without even unmuting, that's okay. You don't even have to raise your hands. Anyone who can tell me what is happening? Line number 116. What is there?
It's going to put first and last name together.
Join first name, last name.
Yes, this is called a string concatenation. Now, what is string concatenation from the memory point of view? I'm pretty sure some of you might not be aware of this. So here, I'll come back to my whiteboard. This whiteboard is very small now, so I'll have to create another whiteboard. Let me do one thing. So now, let me create another memory, let's say. So if this is my memory, look at this. So what is happening here? I'm creating variables first name. So what is happening? I'm creating a box in the memory. So how do we create a box? Okay, let me do one thing. So I'm creating a box. What am I calling it? I'm calling it first name. So this is what I'll do. First name. So basically first name is a variable that is pointing to the memory location where this value is stored. What is the value stored in this box? Look at this. This is a very important concept, guys. Okay, so the value, okay, let me remove this double quote. This is only for your understanding. So what am I storing here? This is the value, which is Ziggy. So this is the value that is stored inside this container. Name of the container is first name. Now, what is happening? Again, I'm creating another container called last name. What is the value? Canary. Okay. This is very important concept. Most people, even senior people that I interact with, they don't have this concept clear. Now let me tell you what is happening. So this is a second container. Let me call it last name. Okay. And then what is the value? It is canary. Okay. So This is fine. This is simple so far. But now some complex things are coming up. Okay. What is that complex thing? As soon as I'm doing, who can tell me? Now you please don't unmute. Please raise your hands. Who can tell me from memory point of view what is happening here? When I do first name plus last name. Yes, I know the output of this is Ziggy Canary something. What is the output of this code? Not output. Basically from memory point of view. Okay. Yes, Sondarya. Please tell me. What do you think?
Yeah, it is just trying to put one beside the other. Like it is trying to print Ziggy and Canary.
Okay. Let us do one thing. If I simply print console.log first name plus last name. Yeah. Now, if I run this code, let's see the output. It should be what? Ziggy and Canary in the same order, how I've written,
Yes.
which is fine. But from memory point of view, I want to understand what is happening in the memory. So okay. Anyone can tell me what is happening in the memory. Okay. So, maybe Sachin.
There
Yes,
is,
I see.
yes, sir.
Yes, Sachin. Tell me.
So,
What do you
sir, I
think?
think like when we are not like we have not created any variable where we are storing the value of first
Correct.
name plus the last name. So I think
Hmm.
just print it will not create any object in the memory.
Okay. So the thing is, what is happening here? This is creating a new string in the memory, but an unnamed string. I
Okay.
know, yeah, 90% people will not be able to get this, but this is what is happening. So in memory, what is happening? I'm creating another container in the memory. What is the value of this container? Ziggy Canary. So yeah, so what have I done? I have created a new container in the memory with this value. But what is the name of this container? Yes, Sachin, what is the name of this container? If you can tell me.
There is no name. It is not assigned to any variable.
Exactly. So basically, it is an unnamed string. Okay. So what happens here? In JavaScript, we have a similar concept in Java, which is called as garbage collection. Some of you might have heard. What is garbage collection? If I have something in the memory without a name, it will be deleted automatically by the GC or garbage collector. What is garbage collection in simple terms? Whenever, so JavaScript keeps on periodically looks at the memory and see, do we have any value which does not have a name or a reference? This has a name, JavaScript will not touch it. This has a name, yes, it has a value, it has a name, JavaScript will not touch it. What about this? It has a value, but it does not have a name. So what will JavaScript do? JavaScript will understand that anyway you cannot use it. Why? It does not have a name. It is unnamed, referenceless, nameless. Can you use it really? No, you cannot use it. In simple terms, this is a one-time use string, guys. Okay. Yes, for practice purpose, you will do this, but deep down, you should know what is happening in the memory. Nobody teaches this particular part. This is extremely important concept. Okay. This is a one-time use string. Okay, you cannot use this again. Why? It is a one-time use string. So yes, if you print this, you will get the correct output. But can you use it later on? The answer is no, you cannot. Okay, so this is a one-time use string. What if you want to basically give this a value? In that case, you can use something like this. Let str or const str equal to first name plus last name. Now you are creating a new string which is Ziggy Canary and storing it in a variable called str. Now it has a name. Now it is no longer unnamed. Okay, so what is this? This is your str, which is the name of your string. Now garbage collector will not delete this string from the memory. I hope you are able to follow the concept. Okay, this is extremely important. Okay, from memory point of view, you should be able to understand what is really happening. And now you can easily solve any of the string based questions. If you understand this, most people just understand this on a superficial level. But now we are actually understanding this in a lot deeper level. From memory point of view, we should know what is happening. Yes, Rajkumar, tell me.
Yeah, I have a question with regards to the garbage collector. So, like, whenever say we are talking of memory, so garbage collector comes into view. So, how soon can the garbage collector be called?
Okay, so that is not something in our control. That is something that is
Okay.
completely dependent on the JavaScript. Okay, so it
Okay.
doesn't tell us how soon this JavaScript collector runs. Whenever it runs it periodically. Whenever it runs, it checks
Okay.
If we have an unnamed variable, if we have, it simply deletes it from the memory. Basically, it is for optimizing your memory. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so I'm glad you're able to understand these questions. Okay, moving on. So, what is happening? So, this is my first name. Where is it? Yeah. This is my first name. This is my last name. And this is my concatenated name. So, basically, a very important concept that we are about to learn now is strings are immutable. Some of you might have seen this in Java. We have the same concept in JavaScript. What is the meaning of immutable? In simple terms, immutable in English simply means what? That cannot be changed. So that is what I mean. Let me give you an example, whether it really works or not. So if you see, let first name equal to Ziggy. Now, let me just keep it here. So let first name 1 equal to Ziggy. Okay. Now, what if I want to change this Z to small z? So can I do this first name of 1, okay, of 0 equal to small z? What am I trying? I am simply saying that take the first character because strings are indexed. We'll see this later on. Okay, don't worry if this is not making sense so far. Okay, so what is happening here? First name of 1 of 0 means access the 0th index, which is capital Z. And I'm saying change the capital Z to small z. Now if I print console.log, let's see what happens here. Console.log first name. Let's see. So select and play. So first name is not defined. Oh, my bad. Here I'm using first name 1 and I'm selecting only this. So it means it is Java's VS Code is ignoring everything else. So it is my small mistake. It has to be first name of 1. Yeah. Let me clear. And now I'll run this. See guys, we all make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. That is why I'm actually at this level because I've made more mistakes than you all combined. Yeah. So please don't feel afraid when you make mistakes. That is how you grow. But the important thing is don't make the same mistake again and again. That is silly. Yeah. Okay. So you want to learn from your mistakes so that you don't repeat it. Now, play button. Ziggy, what happened? This line is ignored by the JavaScript. Ignored. Why? Because strings are immutable. I cannot modify a string in the memory. Means if I have created a string in the memory, if it was a number, I could have changed it. Numbers can be modified, booleans can be modified, strings cannot be modified. Okay, so this is a limitation. You don't call it as a limitation. This is something that is a characteristic of both Java and JavaScript. You cannot modify a string. Okay, so it means if I've created a string, I cannot change it. Even if I try to change, this line is ignored. I will not get any error, but my string is completely unchanged because it is immutable. That is something you should understand. We don't want to get a lot deeper into this. Just understand that strings are immutable, cannot be modified. That's it. Okay. So this is about this concept. Now, a simple question. I'm pretty sure you will be able to understand this. What is the output of this code? Console.log hi plus 1. Who can tell me? It's very simple actually. I think you can all tell me.
I
We will
one.
get high one.
We'll get high and 1.
High and 1. Okay. Okay. So Nisha is saying high 1. Absolutely. Hmm. Okay. That is what it means. High 1. What is happening here? This is called string concatenation. Something is also happening here, which is called as what? Automatic type conversion that we'll see later on. For now, people who understand this term can understand there is something automatic type conversion. For now, just understand if I run this code, what is happening? High 1. But in memory, what is happening from the memory point of view? I'm creating an unnamed string in the memory. Yeah, unnamed string. There is no variable that is storing this string, right? It is an unnamed string. And what I'm doing, I'm creating another unnamed string. So how many strings now in the memory in total? Two unnamed strings. And whenever the JavaScript garbage collector will run periodically, okay, it will delete both these strings, high and high 1. That is the right thing to do. Yes, most people will, if somebody is asking you this question, yes, the answer is correct. But what is happening in the memory? You should know this as well, which is one unnamed string, second unnamed string, and both will be deleted after some time. Why? For preserving your memory. That is the reason why garbage collector runs periodically, because it wants to optimize your memory. That's it. Okay. Now, moving on to another concept, which is string indexing. So, what is string indexing? Very important concept. Let us see. Suppose I have a variable, let's say chicken. So in this case, okay, so if you see here, let me write like this, C and then H, I, C, K, E, and N. Now, if you look at this, C has an index of 0, and I'll tell you why. H has an index of 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, let me tell you. As a human, let's say we go for a party. Inside party, let's say we see, say, 3 people talking. Okay. Now, if I want to start counting how many people are talking, which is in this group, which is 3 people, I'll start 1, 2, and 3. As a human, we start counting by number 1. We don't start counting person 0, then person 1, person 2. That is very odd, right? As a human, we start counting by number 1. But programming is slightly odd. So if you're learning coding for the first time, this might look slightly odd, but this character C has an index not 1 but 0. Yeah. So in programming, the indexing starts from 0. Okay, so indexing starts from 0. But if I'm a human, if I'm starting the counting, I start counting from 1. Means if there are 3 people, I'll say there are 3. Okay, person 1, person 2, person 3. But if JavaScript is doing the same counting, JavaScript will say person 0. Yeah, that is might look slightly odd, but you will get used to it later on. Person 0, person 1, person 2. It will never say person 3. Even though there are 3 people, JavaScript will say person 0. Because in programming, the indexing starts from 0. But as a human, we start counting from 1 and onwards. So C has an index of 0. Last character, so in chicken, how many characters we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there are 7. So the last character is not 7. It is actually 7 minus 1, which is 6. Okay, that is called as strings are indexed, string indexing. Every character in a string, your name, my name, we all have a unique index for every character. That is what it means. Okay, now in strings, we have a very important property. Suppose there's a string called hello. Now, I am interested in finding how many, okay, simply how many characters we have in the string. Visually, I can easily say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 characters. But if I want to write a program, I cannot assume, right? I want JavaScript to find out somehow what is the length of the string. So in that case, we have something called as what? See, we have this IntelliSense. And in this IntelliSense, you see something is in purple color, something is in blue color. Whenever you see something in blue color, it means it is a property. So length is a property which gives me what is the length of the string. In simple terms, if I talk about you as a person, what are your properties? Maybe you have black hairs, which is what? It is a property. Okay. Maybe you have a brown skin texture like me. Okay. Again, what is it? It is a property. Maybe you have eyes colors, which is, let's say, brown or black. What is it? Again, a property. Okay. As a human, what you can do, you can walk, you can talk. These are some methods. These are some actions that you can take. So actions are different from properties. So properties simply defines your characteristics. So what is the characteristic of the string? One of the characteristic is length. How do you use length? Simply type length. So for properties, never use parentheses. Okay, simply use length like this. So this hello.length will give me what? The length of the string. That is what it means. So let me run this code. Clear and then play button. And it gives me the value as 5. Yeah, this is what is happening. So we have two things for strings. We have two things. One is your properties, which are your characteristics, string characteristics, and then we have methods. In the next class, which is tomorrow, we will see what are the string methods also, and we'll dive a lot deeper into methods actually. Okay, so there are so many string methods like includes, index of, so many things we'll see. Because in programming or in interview questions, interviewer will never ask you, that, hey, you have to use this method, so and so. No, no, no. He will simply give you a problem statement. And if you have done enough practice, you will know what method to use where. As a beginner, yes, it is a challenge. Why? We are learning coding for the first time. We don't understand where to use which method, which is very natural, very normal. So don't feel bad or something. Okay. But with practice, then slowly, slowly, you are building your coding muscle. So coding is like a muscle, guys. Yes. Just like I really like lifting weights. Yes, personally, I like lifting weights. So if I go to the gym every single day, I'm building muscles. Same thing. If I'm practicing coding every single day, I'm building my coding muscle. That is how we do it. Okay. So with this, I would like to shut my mouth and I'll give you an opportunity to ask me questions if you have any. If you have any questions related to the content, related to anything, maybe if you're a new person, you may have questions regarding the enrollment part or anything. Now you can ask me. Okay. And I have posted my phone number in the chat. So some of you have questions. You can, okay. I think so many people have asked questions. Let me type my phone number once more. Just give me one sec. 7738532684. This is my phone number, which is available on WhatsApp. And in case somebody wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn profile. Yeah. So yes, I'm really a test automation architect. I'm from Mumbai. I have stayed in Mumbai for 10 years now, but I'm currently in Punjab and I speak only one language, which is Hindi. And I try to translate in English. That is how I deliver my lectures. But I think in Hindi and I speak in Hindi only. Okay. So I hope you are able to understand. Yeah. If you want to have maybe ask any questions, you can basically post it on chat, post it on WhatsApp. Now, over to you guys for asking me questions. And in case, so if you really like the content, if you really see that I'm talking to the new people who are possibly attending this for the very first time. If you really like the content, I would strongly recommend do enroll yourself and let's get the ball rolling. Okay. Indecision will never help you. Most people have this some people have this habit of paralysis of analysis. No, it is not going to help you. Make decisions faster, quicker. That is what will help you. Yes, Wakas, tell me if you have any questions.
Yes, I do have any questions about what we were teaching about the properties. You put lint in there. Is width also one of them as well that you can do as well for the
Which one?
properties? Width, width. Is that something? Because in programming, I know, like when you're typing something in and they have spacing. So how would you define that? Like if it's is that what other part of properties can you use for besides length? That's what basically my question
Okay,
was.
okay,
With
okay,
one of them, and what else
okay.
do we
So
commonly use in program in
I totally
in
understand.
this?
So the most common property when it comes to strings is the most important property is length. The first thing, very important, very commonly used property. And if you see, there are some more. Let's see. Do we have any more? Nee? See, there's no other property actually. And all of these are methods. The only property when it comes to strings is length. See, there's no other property. So everything that you see in the purple color is your methods. Okay.
Thank you. That's my question. Thank you.
No worries. Okay. So iPhone. I have to call you iPhone because I keep on forgetting things.
Sorry, no problem. I should rename it. So I have to install this play. I know I'm asking a repeated question. I didn't
No
install.
worries. Go
So
ahead.
Playwright, just go to Google and install this, and then
Okay,
the
if you want to install Playwright, I would suggest I have prepared a document. So is it open now? Okay, it's
can
not
you
yet open.
share?
No. Okay, I think I've already shared in the group, but what I would suggest is if you don't have this particular this document, just reach out to me in person. I will
Yeah,
send you this
please.
document.
Yeah, I want it.
Okay, no worries. It has everything: how to install Node.js, how to install VS
Yeah,
Code, how to
thank you
install
so
React.
much. That is what I want.
Everything is there. And
Thank
you
you.
have to promise me next time onwards, you have to rename your.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure, sure. I'll do it. Thank you.
Yes, no worries. Any more questions? Okay, Chandra. Yes, Chandra. Please tell me.
Actually, I have installed VS Code,
Huh?
but I am not getting. I installed that plugin also, but still I am
Huh?
not getting this colored icons.
Okay. And somebody was asking me this question. So what you have done is, okay, you have installed this particular plugin, which is extension basically, which is your material icon theme. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. After you install it, it gives you a small pop-up here. You have to select this material icon theme. If you don't select it, even if you have installed it, you will not get it. I would suggest Uninstall once and reinstall it, and then you will get a small pop-up which will ask you which theme to use. You have to select it, material icon theme. Then you'll start seeing such beautiful icons. Okay.
Which theme I have to select here?
No, the first option. Once you'll reinstall this particular material icon theme, it will give you a small pop-up. In that pop-up, select the first option. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Vakas, you still have a question? I see your hand is raised. Not sure. Okay. Yes, Amir, go ahead.
Are we going to have are we gonna automate like a website, like end-to-end project at the end, where we will have a chance to like automate, like
Oh,
like
yes, absolutely. In page object model, we will see some things in lot more detail actually. So we'll talk about the design pattern, which is your page object model. We'll learn how to basically automate the entire flow actually. Okay, so in the page object model, we'll see some complex calendars. At the moment, I don't want to confuse people by such stuff, but everything is mentioned in the, you can say, course curriculum. So I would suggest, Amir, if you have not seen the course content yet, you can either reach out to me and I'll be happy to share the course content with you, wherein you can see everything what we are going to cover. All right. Yes, Gayatri, you have a question?
Yes, Pesh. For JavaScript, what is the extension you have added? Can you,
For JavaScript, I didn't get you. What do you mean by this?
like for JavaScript, for running the JavaScript, have you explicitly added any extensions
Okay,
from
yeah.
uh,
Okay, for running JavaScript, we need only one extension, which is your code run extension. That's it. Code run
code run?
extension by Junhan. You will get this play button after installing this extension. That's it.
Okay, yeah. And you have created the folder.
Correct. I've created a folder, right? And I've opened this folder inside VS Code. And now later on, I've added all these files. That's it.
Okay, yeah. All good. Thanks, Pesh.
No worries. Okay, so okay, Vakas is saying thank you for explaining everything at a very basic level. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Vakas. Okay, so see, I try to be in your shoes because I understand when I was getting started, I wish somebody might have explained me the way I'm explaining. I wish somebody explained me the same way. Okay, which is okay. Right. So Ravi is asking, what is the name of another extension to run or execute the program to play button? That is only extension, Ravi Kumar. It is your uh, run code extension. Okay, by Junhan. That is it. Okay, so before we move on, I would suggest, so if somebody who still have questions regarding enrollment and all, please reach out to the team, okay, and they will help you with the enrollment part. Okay, so because tomorrow I doubt there won't be any free sessions anymore. Okay, so I think these 3 sessions would have given you a good idea as to how the classes are. Okay, whether you really like my teaching style or not. Okay, so any more questions?
Yeah, Piyush, I have a question. So, like, in case you can share the list of extensions which or
Okay,
say
sure.
used, yeah.
Okay, so I will share this list of extensions, and in case if I do forget, which I will most probably, please do reach out to me in person, and I'll share it. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Yes, Sachin, go ahead.
Yes, sir. One question. So through Playwright, can we connect to SQL database and an SQL query and do data validation?
You can do all of this actually in Playwright.
Okay, is that covered? Will that be covering in the course, sir?
No, that is not a part of this course because database is completely a separate topic. It is an ocean in itself, actually, to be honest. Okay, so that is not a part of this course, actually.
Okay, sir. Just because can you still cover how to make a connection through database if possible? Not maybe not go to the detail level, but just establish the connection with the SQL database.
Okay. We'll see like how we can do it. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Anita, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Piyush. While declaring a string, you were explaining in between double quote, we can use the single quote or the vice versa. So
Correct.
the one that's in between, that will be considered as one of the character, and will that also get displayed? I mean, will that also
Yes.
get printed?
Yes,
Yeah.
very good question. Very good question. So if I see this, see, Sanita, right? Yeah. Okay, I've
Yeah.
added a single quote here. So now if I do last name, let us see the output. So if I click on the play button, see, I think that clears our question.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so this really tells me, guys, that you are really able to follow, guys, and I'm really happy. And thank you so much for interacting with, okay, and asking these many questions. And now the thing is what? Please do practice. Okay, so we have, this is a weekend only batch, and we have classes only on Saturday and only on Sunday, 2 2 hours each. Okay, nobody asked for a break, so I tried to give you, but nobody wanted it, so we didn't take a break. That's okay, right? So now, after tomorrow, you will have 5 full days to practice. So please make the most of it, guys. Okay, so I think we should stop here now. And if you still have questions, don't worry. You can reach out to me in person. You can reach out to the team, anyone. Okay, and if you have not yet enrolled, I would suggest do get yourself enrolled, and then we will get the ball rolling. Okay, so okay, so Gayatri, you still have a question? Okay, one last question, then we'll be done for the day. Yeah, go ahead. If you have a question, Gayatri.
Sorry, I forgot to lower my hand.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so if there are no questions, right? So yes, it was a great session with you. Thank you so much for interacting, right? So tomorrow we'll be diving a lot deeper into strings. We will do some interactive quizzes now, which I know you guys really like it, like my all the previous students, right? So okay, please make a lot of notes, and I'll be adding all these files. And please do reach out to me whosoever wants that document, and I'll be sharing this Google Drive link wherein I'll be adding everything, including this document. Okay. So with this, we'll end our class, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:29. Okay. So take care, guys. See you. Thank you so much, Geeta. Thank you for joining. Okay. Thank you, Shipra. All right. See you. Take care.